At least 144 people have died and more than 700 others have been injured after a powerful earthquake struck Myanmar. The powerful quake that has jolted Thailand has left at least 3 dead and dozens more injured. Take a look at our report as the earthquake has left a trail of complete devastation in both nations.
Friday afternoon jolted into an absolute nightmare for residents in Thailand and Myanmar by a 7.67 magnitude earthquake. These are the images of a 30-story under construction building rattled by the powerful tremors in Bangkok. The building crumpled into a tangle of rubble and twisted metal in a matter of seconds, sending a massive cloud of dust into the air. While several have lost their lives, dozens are trapped under the debris. Thai Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra visited the collapsed construction site and reviewed the situation.
Buildings in Bangkok are constructed beyond the standard. Even if the earthquake had been stronger, they would still be able to withstand it. Right now, inspections show that all buildings are safe to return to. The only affected structures are those under construction, which have issues with stability and walls.
Panic and chaos gripped the streets of the city. The streets near the busy Chatuchak market, the largest weekend market in Thailand, were more noisier than ever.
So I was in this building right behind me. It was a shopping mall and I was there to buy camera equipment, and all of a sudden the whole building just began to move. Immediately there was screaming, there was a lot of panic. I just started walking calmly at first, but then the building started really moving, and yeah, a lot of screaming, a lot of panic, people running the wrong way down the escalators, like lots of banging and crashing inside the mall. I got outside and then looked up at the building, that one there, and this whole building was just moving, dust and debris. It was pretty intense.
Panicked Bangkok residents ran out onto the streets after tremors shook buildings.
At first I didn't realize it was an earthquake, but then I saw the table shaking and the chair and computer started swaying too. I only knew for sure when I heard the noise of the cracking walls and cracking glass. Part of the ceiling even collapsed. That's when I had to run out.
Water from high-rise rooftop pools sloshed over the side as they shook, and debris fell from many buildings. While Thailand has declared a state of emergency in Bangkok, Myanmar has announced an emergency in 6 regions. The earthquake has devastated parts of Myanmar, marking the most intense seismic event in the country in a century. The quake damaged part of the former royal palace and buildings in Myanmar's second largest city, Mandalay, the ancient royal capital that is at the center of its Buddhist heartland. A mosque also partially collapsed in Myanmar, with deaths being reported. The epicenter is located 16 kilometers northwest of the city of Sagaing, just southwest of Mandalay. A 90-year-old bridge collapsed, and some sections of the highway connecting Mandalay and the city of Yangon have also been damaged. These are the images of roads buckled by the earthquake. Though the exact number of casualties remain unclear, USGS estimates the toll could be over 10,000. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Now, Myanmar is one of the most earthquake-prone regions, featuring the red zone on the global seismic risk map that indicates the highest risk. The Sagaing earthquake-prone fault line is the sleeping giant for Myanmar, running from central to northern Myanmar. It marks a major tectonic boundary between the Burma microplate and the Indian plate. Now, the fault is caused by the movement of the Indian and the Eurasian plates, and the cities along which are included in the most earthquake-prone areas in Myanmar. Now, this time, the tremors from a strong earthquake that hit Myanmar were also felt in China's southwest Yunnan province. Shocks were witnessed in India's northeast, West Bengal, Bihar, UP, and also Delhi's national capital region. The authorities in Myanmar have warned that the Sagaing Fault is one of the most geologically dangerous areas in Myanmar, and it is important to be prepared for the risk to be reduced by building earthquake-resistant buildings and also educating the public about the hazards of an earthquake. A magnitude of 7.5 earthquake in Tongoi had killed about 10,000 people in 1970. Between 1930 and 1956, at least about 6 earthquakes over magnitude 7 had occurred near the right lateral Sagaing Fault. This had resulted in severe damage in Myanmar, including the generation of landslides, liquefaction, and also the loss of about 600 plus lives. Deep earthquakes have also been known to occur in these regions. Now, these are thought to be due to the subduction of the eastwards dipping India plate. All right, now to give us more perspective on this, we are joined in this broadcast by Dr. Titipol Pakrivanich, who is, of course, a faculty of political science at the UBON Ratchathani University, and is joining us live from Bangkok. Dr. Titipol, this is an earthquake which was very strong in the place of its epicenter. Do you think Myanmar and its adjoining nations are prepared for an earthquake of this magnitude?
I think this is one of the problem for countries in Southeast Asia. We don't actually prepare much for this. Actually, Myanmar and the northern part of Thailand, like provinces in the north, like Chiang Mai, Mae Hong Son, they are actually in the earthquake lines, and we tend to have this kind of minor earthquake in the upper region of the country, close to Myanmar. But with this scale, I don't think countries like Thailand and Myanmar are very well prepared for that. That is one of the main problems that I have seen this time that happened, because I just happened to be in Bangkok because I had a meeting today in the afternoon, and we were in the meeting. No one was actually thinking of the earthquake when this happened, and we all realized that it was the earthquake. That was quite an experience for many people in Bangkok, that we never experienced that. And if you look at the report in Thailand, you have seen like a numbers of pictures showing cracks and things on the building. That also raised another awareness for people in Thailand about the quality of the construction of the building. And because many people actually question a lot about the quality of the construction of the building, especially public buildings that is built by the government or government officials.
Right.
And partly because of the problem of corruption, that is actually one of the main questions that has raised amongst Thai.
What is interesting is that this region, although it is very prone to earthquakes because it sits on the fault line of the Burma plate and the Indian plate that is, of course, pushing in, the fact that lessons obviously haven't been learned in terms of preparing for these kind of eventualities. Do you think this earthquake today would serve as a sort of a wake-up call for the governments in Myanmar and the adjoining regions, including in places like Thailand, to prepare for earthquakes? Because this is something that can happen because Myanmar sits on a seismic fault line.
Yeah, I think because if you look at this in terms of natural disaster, I think Thailand and Myanmar should have been much better, considering the history that we had the tsunami in 2005, if I remember the number correctly. That was one of the main natural disaster that raised awareness amongst Thai, and the Thai government actually to prepare for this kind of scale of natural disaster. Because even today, when it happened, people also raise a question about the possibility of the tsunami in the south or not. And this is a kind of thing we haven't seen much of the preparation by the Thai government, because I remember traveling to Phuket, and I can just see very simple thing, just like decide to evacuate or to move away, and that is not quite a constructive way to prepare, because after it's happened today, many people talk about the government failure to keep people informed and
Right.
other situation. Like, for example, today most people have smartphone, and most people in Thailand have access to internet.
Right.
And app phone application is a very simple, typical thing that most people around the world talk about that. And many people actually raise a concern and question the
Indeed.
ability of government to inform people, like why we didn't actually get any kind of notification. Because with this kind of thing that could happen,
Right.
happened, there might be a sign or some kind of information that the government should have had and
All right.
signal to the people.
Indeed, we're completely out of time, but thank you very much indeed, Dr. Tidipal, for joining us with that perspective there.
Yeah, thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.